Hey yo, who's showing up with videos all over your random social media platforms? Dun 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 dun. Dyze, showing up all over your random social media platforms with videos every day. What is the word, peeps? What goes on? Jay Porks here. Back with another action-packed edition of the COVIdeo series. We are in day 12, and I do realize I say the wrong day every day. So I believe it's day 12. I will count the videos upon uploading this, and we will discover that. If you're not sure what we're doing here, well, my name is Jay Porks. I host a podcast every weekend. It's called Dyze in Your House, and you can get it on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Dyze in Your House. You could also get it on Patreon, patreon.com/jporks. And what we do on there is we fight fascism, one podcast at a time. We get on there and we rail about what's going on in our daily life. And in our daily life right now, as Americans, our daily life is showing the rise and acceptability of fascism into the mainstream, and behaviors that are moving, and behaviors in a government and in a society that are moving away from a democracy and more towards a fascist regime. Now, I understand that a fascist crime syndicate was installed at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in late 2016 by a hostile foreign power just for fun. And we've accepted that, I've accepted that, and we're here to stay healthy, and we have to make it to November. The New York primary was just postponed until June. I don't like the sounds of that at all. We need to get out of this. We need to wash our hands. We need to stay vigilant. We need to follow CDC guidelines. We need to not gaggle in large groups. We need to stay 6 feet apart from people, maintain physical distance, stay healthy. So in November, we can get out to the polls, or we can mail in our vote. We can figure out a way to do it. Either way, November 3rd, 2020, we take our country back. And when we take our country back, here's what happens. What happens is you move from leadership that has no idea how to deal with a possible oncoming pandemic. You have leadership that has no department in place that's a bunch of funded doctors, researchers, and scientists studying what if scenarios. You go from not having that. You go from having a government that's totally and completely inept and unprepared at everything that has to do with the American, with the everyday American, not the wealthy 1% donor American. You move away from that when we take our country back and move towards responsible leadership, decent leadership, leadership that will have doctors on the payroll, making sure, listen, we can't let this happen. We are America. And we cannot continue to be America if we're not leading the world in these things. Not looking at, oh, South Korea, how do you do that? Maybe we should follow the way other countries have been doing it. That's not how America works. We're the leaders of the free world. At least we're supposed to be. At least that's what I was told. So that's what the main focus is. That's the main focus of my podcast is. Every week is drilling it home. Every weekend, drilling it home that, listen, vote blue 2020. Take back our country. And I promise you, daily life will just be significantly better. Like automatically, it'll be significantly better. There'll be significant changes. And just everyone's mood will just be a little more cheery. That's if we get out of this. A point I've been laboring for months now is like, this is not normal, but we might be to the point where we don't get back to normal. It's a possibility. We need to be careful every move that we make. Again, democracy is what we have in America. Fascism is what's rising. And we don't want that. Hey Google, what is fascism? Really? Now it's amazing that it's taken this long for this to happen. But usually it
Something went wrong. Try again in a few seconds.
that's the first time. Wow, let me down on a live video. It's not live, but I'm recording live. There's no edits, there's no cuts in these videos. Usually I just go and I get it. I haven't had a problem over the entirety of the period of doing these videos, and I just did. And imagine if I was like live streaming. I mean, not like I'm gonna cut it, but imagine if this was like something major. This is why I can't do this. I can't be this. This is not what I could do. Hey Google, what is fascism?
According to Wikipedia, fascism is a form of far-right, authoritarian ultranationalism characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimentation of society and of the economy, which came to prominence in early 20th century Europe.
It's not. It's not American values. That's not. You didn't hear that and say, oh, well, Jay, I see the upside in that. There is no upside of that. That came to prominence during Europe in the early whatever. That's when we had the war. The Second World War. The final World War that took place. So when you see memes that say your grandparents went and fought for our country and you're complaining about sitting on the couch, like, that's what your grandparents went to fight against. So if you're somebody sharing that meme and you think that that meme is utterly hilarious, cool. I think I got a chuckle out of it the first 47 times I saw it. After that, I stopped thinking it was funny. And then I also started to think about it in context. And I thought, well, those soldiers really didn't have social media. A lot of them would probably be complaining. I doubt anybody was like, yeah, let's go die. But like they were going to war to fight fascism. That's what they were doing. The correct way to cough. This is the second day in a row my cat's not here for the video. I feel lonely. It hurts my soul that he didn't come, but he's downstairs. He was sleeping under a table. It's better than it sounds. He's not neglected. He's got like a pillow under there. It's a little spread out. He's got his little... It's like one of those beds with like... You know, like the princess is sleeping. They have like the sheets hanging down. That's what it feels like where he's sleeping right now. But I digress. So yeah, man, 14 days. So, every day, we decided that along with the podcast every weekend, which will be recorded right immediately following me hitting stop on this video, I will hit upload on this video, but I will also be recording a brand new episode of Dyze in Your House, which will go out on SoundCloud, which will probably be up before noon today. And that's where we have the better microphone. You know what? That's where we have the good mic. That's where we have the good tones, the sultry tones. It doesn't sound like I'm in a hollow room. So what we did was we decided, along with that, people are going to be home. So let's reach those people. Let's give those people a couple of minutes a day where they can laugh. A couple of minutes a day where well, maybe not laugh. I find that I don't say funny things, but the way I say things are funny and they're entertaining to people. Does anybody else get that vibe? And if so, if you know a way that I can be like a voiceover person, let me know. And don't leave me a comment saying, yeah, I can hook you up with that. No. Send the link. Hook me up with it. I've gotten a lot of people reached out to me. A lot of people. A few of you, which is nice. Offering assistance in what I'm doing here, video-wise. I don't see this as a future long-term for me doing videos like this unless something changes where, I have been talking about home studio in my room. I have the capacity for that. The question is, could I make it happen? That's the question. But for now, every weekend on SoundCloud, you will get Dyze in your house. You could also get it on Patreon. SoundCloud.com/Dyze in your house, Patreon.com/JPorks. And then it will eventually come to this very YouTube channel, which was supposed to be the conduit to get it to upload to Apple Podcasts, but that stopped happening. I don't know why. I can't fix it. I don't care that much about it. SoundCloud's fine. People listen. People know what SoundCloud is. People can listen on Patreon. People can watch on YouTube. But also, to go along with that, I decided for 14 days, we're going to do a COVIDeo series, Quarantine Time. We're going to do that. Because I'm home. I work at a place that was closed, like, immediately. Not closed by, like, the company I work for. And the views and opinions expressed on my podcast are that of my own and not that of my employer. But my job was closed before Cuomo shut down the jobs. You know, and shut down all non-essential work. So I knew I was going to be home for at least 2 weeks. It's going to be more than that, according to Governor Cuomo, who has been doing an okay job with this. He's been doing a good job. He keeps us updated, yada, yada, yada. I like him this week. I've explained that in past videos. So we are going to do the 14-day COVIDeo series, the 14-day, 2 weeks. I'm going to put that on a playlist. And then we're going to go and we're going to see what the future of videos are while everybody's off work. I still want to find ways to spend time with you, but I get bored with it. Like when my cat's here, it's fun because he like starts moving his hands and it gives me other things to like play off of. But like in terms of sitting on a bed in my room, I don't know. I mean, I think especially with 2 more days, I think I've reached the maximum amount of entertainment I can bring to you. Sitting on a bed in my room just talking about this. Because every day, I'm here every day, so I'm talking about, it's not like the things change. Like this might be, maybe in a couple of days we regroup and this just becomes a COVID update video series where we just update people on the amount of deaths, new hotspots, what's going on. You know, we might just run down numbers. I might just wait for Governor Cuomo's daily press conferences and record a video after he goes off and give you all that information. Pass along that same information to you in another medium. Some people see the governor on TV, they change the channel. I usually do, unless he's talking about something I care about, which is going back to work. Going back to work is something I care about a lot. I said at the beginning of this, I said pay attention to my mood from day one and then watch how the deterioration goes. I'm not with it anymore. I was never with it. From the second I heard I was going to be home, I did not want to be home. And I understand that the priority one is getting people healthy. That's why I'm so annoyed. I'm not annoyed that I'm home. Oh man, they're making a big deal out of this. No, I'm mad that my government, my federal government, was told about this on December 22nd and allowed it to get this bad where we're in lockdown mode. That's what pisses me off. Okay? It's not the fact that, oh man, it's not a big deal, it's a hoax. No, it's not. It's a big deal. It is not a hoax. It is a real thing. And if the government would have taken this seriously in December, in January, in February, maybe we wouldn't be in lockdown mode for most of March. That's what annoys me. I don't want anyone to get confused and think that I'm somebody that thinks it's no big deal because I take a walk to the store every 3 days. I keep my local deli in business by going there. I wear a mask when I walk in the store. I put on a glove before I walk in the store. Everything I touch, I wear a glove. When I get home, I wash my hands. I see somebody on the street, I walk. Like if I see somebody here, I have to look at the screen, make sure my hands are on the screen. If I see somebody here and I'm walking and I see them, I'm like, boom. And then I say, hey, what's up? How you doing? And I just keep walking. That's it. Maintain 6 feet. Physical distance. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. don't touch things, period, and then don't touch your face. Do all that. Go to cdc.gov. That's where you'll get your information about what to actually do in this crisis. But had that team, the pandemic response team, scientists, doctors, and researchers, had that team not been defunded in 2018, we would have had a department in the government that's sole purpose was fighting what-if scenarios, was preparing for pandemics. You say to yourself, a pandemic could never happen. Well, the word exists for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So just, the word pandemic is a real word, and there's a reason that Webster's has not taken it out of the dictionary. It's because that shit is happening. That shit could happen. It did happen. It is happening. And we clamped down way too late. And it's a direct failure of the federal government. And that's what voting blue in November is about. It's about putting responsible leadership on the front lines making decisions. It's about when you have an opportunity to remove a reckless leader on February 2nd or something, you do that. You don't allow a criminal to sit in this office. You don't allow that to happen. A criminal sleeps in the White House. Like, can't happen. This is why getting healthy is so important. Taking our country back is important. By any means necessary. And I don't mean any means. I don't mean like we're going to go kill people. Relax. I mean by any means necessary. I mean if we have to stay home for another week, another 2 weeks. If we have to only be outside 5 hours a day. If we have to not hang out with people at all. Whatever. As long as we get to these polls in November. And I just got an alert, like the newsfeed thing came up. And it was like, this is why researchers are saying young people are ignoring coronavirus. Yeah, and this is why coronavirus keeps spreading. Because there are people that are like, oh man, I'm not going to lose my spring break. Dude, you're not going to lose it. Behave like this. I can't lose anything that was taken away from me via coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? Like, my job is closed now. A lot of people's jobs are closed now. Hopefully that $2 trillion stimulus package gives money to these places that are closed to help cover payroll. So the main win in having those places closed were your employees didn't get sick. And that's what it's going to be. But had we had responsible leadership in place, we could have clamped down a little less severely over a longer period of time, and we would have had more time to flatten the curve, as they say. And would have had more of a jump on medicine and treatments and stuff like that. And have more of an understanding about what this is. Like now we have more tests, so that means we're going to have more cases. That doesn't mean it's getting worse necessarily. Just means we're getting more tests. But it's not getting better. So it probably is getting worse. But we don't really know because not everyone's getting tested. And I don't have health insurance. So before I get up on out of here, let me just give you the list of websites, the list of places I need you to go to help keep me in business and help listen to me. And this is where you can, find out where you're listening to the latest endeavors of Dyze in Your House and Least Coast Radio. You will go to JPorks on Twitter. On Twitter, follow me, at JPorks. Follow Least Coast Radio on Twitter, at Least Coast Radio. Follow me on Instagram, at Dyze in Your House. I will share the video in my story, well, a snippet of the video in my story. And you can click on it, and it'll bring you right to SoundCloud, which is where you can listen to the podcast. Listen to the podcast, soundcloud.com/Dyze in Your House, and patreon.com/JPorks. These are the places you can go to help find yourself an episode of Dyze in Your House, which is every weekend, exclusively on Least Coast Radio for the least heard voices. Hashtag stay home, hashtag stay healthy, hashtag wash your hands, hashtag vote blue 2020. JPorks, Keep it locked. Brand new episode of Dyze in Your House coming out on SoundCloud in a matter of moments. Least Coast Radio for the least heard voices. Check you tomorrow. Damn.